Apologies, it feels like the same question every week at the moment. But what did you make of the penalty decision at the end?
Yeah, it's not a penalty. Hardly any contact. Yeah, it's a tough one to discuss, really. I think it's another terrible decision. I don't understand why he feels the need to give it. Pause, take your time. It's not about you. If you've made a clear and obvious error there, VAR will tell you after. So, been in with him. He still thinks it's a penalty. Still, he says there's contact. So, the only contact I can see is maybe Fabio's shin pad with Baldock's calf, like sort of a graze. Baldock's already on his way down, and he's still. I'm sat there watching it with him, and he still tells me it's a penalty, which tells me that we're in a pretty bad spot, because that's never ever a penalty. If you give a foul for that much contact, there'd have been 1 million fouls in the 90 minutes. So then, because of the wording that we use, VAR can't intervene because not deemed clear and obvious, because Fabio's shin pad has touched Baldock's calf. So, craziness.
If you're able to separate that incident from the rest of the game, can you just give us your assessment of the performance?
Yeah, first half should be at least two in front, probably. Thought we had complete control and were very threatening. But then just really disappointed that we didn't take those chances, because I've spoke about this before, refereeing decisions and things like that. We need to be better so that they don't affect us. So we should be 2-0 in front, defending that situation. At least. Second half, I was really disappointed. Obviously, Sheffield United picked up the injury just before and sort of changed then from a front two to a front three. And we spoke about it, but the lads didn't recognise the difference, really, and we didn't manage to... we made too many bad decisions with the ball and sort of created some negative momentum that their crowd were able to get behind. And so disappointed with the second half on our part, from our part. But first half, should be winning and needs to do better. We have 3 or 4 real good looks at their goalkeeper and decide not to shoot or miscontrol it at the last moment. So we needed to be better in front of goal. Second half, we needed to have a better understanding, and then we need the officials to be better.
Just on Fabio, obviously unlucky to give away the penalty, but it's another difficult moment in a Wolves' career that's been difficult for large parts. What can you say to him?
He was obviously very upset. I think everyone could see how upset he was at the end. And he has my full support. Obviously, no one makes mistakes or goes on to do things that don't go well on purpose. So he has my full support. But it's that defeat today is on me and the whole group. That is not on Fabio or we need to be better. So we take that together.
Just finally for me, you gave Sasha his first start of the season. Do you feel he did okay in the area he was on the pitch? Yeah,
I thought he did okay. Thought he had some decent moments, managed to get hold of the ball a couple of times and get us on some dangerous attacks. So knew he probably wouldn't last 90, and obviously Jean coming back from his calf wasn't available for 90. So just Sasha did well for the part he was on. Jean did okay when he came on, but just an unbelievable disappointment really on my part that we should never have lost that game. There was, even with the sort of momentum that they built at the end or during the second half, there was no way we should be on the losing end of that football match. So we need to find a way to be better.
Sorry, just one more if I get people will obviously look at it and say first game without Pedro, it hasn't gone for you, but I guess you would say that you've still created a fair few good chances without him.
Not having Pedro will make a difference to today's game. Of course, any team, especially sort of when you're not in the top 5 or 6 teams in the league, you're going to miss a player of Pedro's quality, of course, and we will. But still have to find a way to, we did enough first half to be in front, and we should have been better second half. And we should never lose that game. So Pedro or no Pedro, we should have left here with something, and we don't. So we're going to feel like this until tomorrow probably, and then we need to knuckle down, and we've got Tottenham coming, who've had an incredible start to the season, and we need to get ready to go again.
Do you expect to hear from the PGL in the sort of next few days? We have an apology.
I don't expect anything. We didn't get an apology last week, and apologies don't help me. We're 6 points down maybe from refereeing decisions, so I think it's important that if you just take some of these answers, it's going to look like I'm blaming referees for where we are. I'm not. I've said a million times now, we need to be better so that they don't affect us as much. But facts are they've had a big impact on our points total, as an impact on where we are in the league, as an impact on the feel of the place, as an impact on how well I'm deemed to have done as a new manager arriving at Wolves. 12 points is a big difference to 18. So the impact that these decisions are having is big, obviously. But I don't expect anything from them. I think to sit and have a conversation with it in front of me and in front of the referee, and him still think that that's a penalty, just tells me that, it's absolutely crazy that anybody would think that was a penalty. It's never ever a penalty. So yeah, I'm worried about it at the moment. I think I think they're in a bad spot, and they seem to be going. It seems to be going against us all the time. But I'm sure others have got their own gripes at other clubs.
So when you talk about yourselves being better, is that things like you maybe could have cleared the ball before giving the referee that decision to make?
We could have cleared the ball on a couple of occasions. We could have not took a foul throw in injury time. We could have made better decisions when we had the ball near our goal. We could have been more clinical in front of their goal. There's lots that we could have done better, as well as the referee. Although I don't think any of our errors were as glaringly obvious as the officials.
Gary, can I ask you, what can you say to your defenders when penalties are given for that sort of contact?
I don't know. I think they all know they've played the game long enough, and even Fabio, you can see when he makes the challenge, he knows he's at risk, even though he hasn't really done anything, because you can just tell in his body language he's like, "Oh, I'm at risk here. I've not touched him." But then, because the referee's given it, you just know that there's a very small chance of it being overturned. So, defenders. I don't know. I don't think we can tell the defenders to do too much, really. I mean, my advice to the defenders would have been to clear the ball before it happens. But in them sort of fouls and tackles and things, I think it's tough time to be a defender in the penalty area if that much contact leads to a penalty.
Gary, he didn't help himself, did he? Because after 10 seconds of going on the pitch, he got himself booked with a pretty rash challenge. So maybe it was kind of like the ref was kind of looking out for him or something. I don't know.
I would hope not. I would hope that the referee's not silly enough to link an aerial challenge 20 minutes ago with a penalty decision. I think that would be, I don't think the referees are very good at the moment, but I don't expect them to be that bad, because two very different incidents. So, of course, we can look at how Fabio did when he came on. We can look at how everyone did that started and that came on, and I will do that. Fabio's devastated that he feels like he's cost the team a point. So at the moment, he needs our support, and he needs me to help him to be better.
Gary, you win against Manchester City and you lose here. Do you know what the real Wolves is?
It's a team that can be competitive in Premier League games. We were competitive today, fine margins, missed some chances, didn't cope very well with what they brought second half, and ricochet on the halfway line leaves them running through, and terrible refereeing decision changes the course of the game. So fine margins at this level, and a drop off of 5-10% between first and second half, or between the performance at home and the performance here, can lead to a different outcome. So there's not as far between the performances as people and you guys may think, but it doesn't take much to turn a result at this level.